So let me share a little bit about the career model, because as we were just saying about Jody, like, you're going to have to go through this multiple times in your life. It's not a once and done. I've probably gone through it 5 times in my life. And with the statistics out there, I'm confident, except maybe, those of you who are trying to semi-retire, maybe you have one more thing, but I would venture to guess you'll probably have more than one thing. It just might not be, they're not going to be full-time things, right? They're going to be dabbling in this, dabbling in that. So no matter where you are in transition, you want to start with assess. And that's because when you're in transition, you need to first know what are your strengths. And I call them your vines. And my next slide will explain what I mean by that. But it's basically your values, your interests, your skills, your personality. You have to be able to know those. You have to be able to articulate those. You have to be able to do some research to find out what jobs use those skills, match those values, and so on. So that's really the starting point. Some of you might be, sort of more in seek mode. Maybe you've done the assessment piece. But if you don't know where you are, that's where you should be beginning. And then seeking out information. So the first 6 chapters are basically on assessment. So looking at those different things. And looks like someone posted some stuff, but anyway, hello, Scott, welcome. I'm going to read your long text later.
Yep. Scott is just offering himself as a resource.
Awesome. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Scott. That's very generous of you. So as people do seek information, people like Scott are willing to talk to you. Okay, that's what it takes, is talking to people who you don't know right now, or maybe someone someone who knows someone. It's the whole layer of the onion thing, where it's not likely your best friend who's going to help you get a job. It's your best friend's college roommate's sister's cousin who's going to help you get it. So seeking information involves taking the assessment information and then gathering research to compare it, how it compares to jobs. And you can do that very methodically. You can do that in a more, woo-woo fashion, however it takes. But you want to get some lists, like 2 or 3 job titles that would be good targets. And then you want to move into testing them out. So there's lots of different ways to test them. Sometimes volunteering. Not every job can be, you can't volunteer for the FBI or accounting. So, some of these things you might have to try to work out an internship, midternship, returnship, whatever you want to call it. Same concept, on the job experience, apprenticeships. Somehow you need to test the role. If you can't test it, you at least have to talk to people who do it and get as much information as you can to make a decision. And then you're going to move into, so seek and test, I think, is like chapters 8 and 9. And then chapter 10, 11, 12 are kind of on execution in terms of, do you want to be an entrepreneur? The book is really more about job search, but there are some questions to consider if you think you want to be an entrepreneur. Or do you want to develop in place, which just means keeping your current job, but doing something different to make it more bearable, or preferably to make it, exciting and challenging. Like in Jody's case, I don't know if the new job is not going well because of the responsibilities, because of a jerky boss, because of the company misrepresenting the job, or something totally different. Your life has changed and now you can't commute. But if you can fix one of those things, and that would be easier than going out and getting another job. So just kind of that would be developing a place, trying to change something about what you're currently doing to again make it better. But sometimes that's not possible. And then repeat is because you're going to have to do this multiple times. And then chapter 13 is networking. Networking is so foundational that it had to have its own chapter.